Good morning, Martians. Yeah, well, recently I've been asked a little bit to be more specific on the refinery and how to refine some of our resources. And I don't think I've ever really covered it. And I'm not a master at it or anything, but I made up this area over here. Let's see if I can find it. Now, overflying it. There it is, right ahead. There it is. This is coming for a landing right over here. Easy does it. You know me and flying, it doesn't work out too well. Alright, easy, easy. Back up a little bit here, right over here. There we go. Not too close. I don't want to destroy everything I just put together. Alright. Just go down a little bit. Sorry, I was just out flying around having a good time. Figure I'd get started. There we go. Nice, gentle landing right there. Jump up. There we go. Alright, so let me see here. I'm not sure what I've covered in the past, but I figured I'd cover some things here because there's really no easy way of figuring crap out. So first of all, let me cover what each of these machines, matter of fact, did I put down a printer? Let's see, right over here. Okay, we can use this guy just to, show the parts that I'm referring to. Atmospheric, we got the soil sampler and the drill, but I can't remember the exact name, so I wanted to kind of look those up, those machines. So yeah, we have the material refinery, atmospheric processor, topsoil extractor, and the drilling rig. Just to be specific on that right there. I may refer to them as other things just because. Okay, so first of all, what makes what? Now, from only thing I can get out of the drill, and I don't know why it says human waste right here. Check this out. Yeah, here, let me just wonder about that one. I think that's because what I did was make sure the area had plenty of resources, and this was running at the time, and I didn't really want human resources, but it does come up. Mostly this thing here will just make water and rock. Now you have to kind of sample around to find where there's a good water area, which is why they put these. Is that thing still running over there? That's why they got these tools in here now that you can go out and sample the atmosphere and the soil and the rock. So in this case, you would sample your area, and I happen to know over that way is more because I looked at the grid, water. And there's water right up to here, and then it goes down to no water off that way. So I'm right here in this area that pretty much has everything. Now, human waste is something that we get from our toilets, and this will be implemented further down the line to where we can turn that into probably, for plants and such. And they're indicate now over here they're supposedly put, and I don't want to get out of row here. I have no particular script I'm going by here, so I'm just going to cover some stuff. How to make what, and here's your list right down here, and I have rock and carbon dioxide in it right now. I'll throw a soil in there because that's the most predominant that you'll find everywhere. So you can basically get started on these three things, but just to show you what makes what, you get water and rock over here. You can get aluminum. In human waste, that's considered a surface. I put it right over here. Material. Carbon, silicon, iron, potassium, and of course aluminum. And then over here on the atmospheric, we can make, hydrogen. Let me get in here so you can see. Hydrogen, carbon dioxide. This is great for plants. All plants, whether it's in the ocean or on the land, take in carbon dioxide and live off that. And then you have methane. Now you can get methane directly from this machine here if you're in an area that it is. I mean, you can't get that everywhere. But you can manufacture it. And you can get oxygen straight from here if it happens to be an area that has oxygen. So all these things depend on the tools over there. So you go and you drive around and you take little samples and you test them on the lab over there, and I'll show you that in a minute, probably. And argon. Now I looked up some of these things, and like argon is for like lights and such. you know, hydrogen for fuel and other things, oxygen obviously, carbon dioxide you can split and make multiple things, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So these are the resources you get from each machine, depending on the area that you're in, because you may just get soil if you don't use the tools and do a lot of sampling, but you'll most likely just get soil because that's the most predominant one. So I put those in over here: rock, soil, and carbon dioxide, because it's, you know, I should plant a tree, really. It's so much carbon. So, you know, a lot of questions people have, and I see I'm going to have radiation hitting me here in a minute, but whatever. So on these ones that I have in there right now, let's see, are they selected? No, they're not selected this time. Let's go with Mars soil. So it tells you right here, you have to have 5 empties over here to be able to even process Mars soil. So you have to have them over here. Now here's the thing, you can get oxygen and water right from the soil. And so you can get it from the basics. As far as rock goes, you get more oxygen from that. Now, if you leave your original oxygen in there in your 5 when you're doing soil, it will continue to do this, add oxygen to it. You won't have to like move it around or whatever. Just leave your oxygen in there if you're going to go back and forth from rock and soil. So you can get the oxygen and water from the basics. Now the other one, carbon dioxide right here, you split that for carbon and oxygen. So you do get oxygen from that and carbon, which you'll need when you come over here. Just get over here. Like say you want to make fuel, methane, if you're not getting it directly from the sky, the atmospheric processor. You can get it if you're lucky. But if you want to make it for fuel for the buggy, because you can use your buggy and that damn plane's still going, that's pretty ridiculous. And this radiation's about ready to kill me. So hang on a second. Okay then, man, I swear to God, no matter when you start your game, you will get bombarded with radiation. That just seems to be a thing. So what I was saying was, when you print your original buggy, it doesn't have any fuel containers in the back, but it has a stored energy that'll let you drive around for a while. Now that's so you can just real quickly scout your area and do your mining tool sampling and to find a good area. So you can drive it for a little bit, then you come over here, and I'm not going to go into detail on this here on how to you know, test your samples and all that, because that's not my main point. My main point is how do you get started with the basics. So to get your fuel, you'll need oxygen and methane tanks in the back of that little dune buggy, and I always recommend just printing the dune buggy first so you can get around, and then once you get your first initial fuel, oxygen and methane, you can then you know, scout further out, unless you get lucky, and then you can get it directly. So that's kind of nice. If you get lucky and you get a methane area, that's pretty cool. And oxygen, so like right here, I could put both these in a buggy right now. Now at this time, we're not using the hydrogen, argon, and the nitrogen. That's not really being used at the moment. It will be shortly, though, from what I understand. And silicon, you know, that's for glass. Oh, that's aluminum. Silicon for glass. And we got carbon here. Let me see what you get when you break carbon down. Right over here. I don't know all these by rote, but let's see here. So carbon, methane and water. So right in here is what you can see what you can break down and to make what. When I get carbon, plain carbon, which I don't even see here, which is odd. So let's say synthesize carbon dioxide. Oh, carbon and oxygen. Synthesize water. Oh, hydrogen. Yeah, you use your hydrogen right here. My bad. So you can make water with hydrogen and oxygen. I didn't realize that. They keep updating it. Carbon and hydrogen again for methane. So you can get fuel a number of ways. So that carbon I have over there and the hydrogen will make fuel. So that's good. Methane's good. So this is the synthesized area. But just on the basic soil, you can get a number of these. Now, like I say, you're getting potassium right here, and I don't even think you can use that. So you're going to end up with a tank of potassium for now, and silicon and iron. So you get your oxygen and water as your primaries, though. Oh, that's moon. Let's go to Mars. There it is. But that's, that's just the basics on how to get started, and things how you're going to get rock and soil right off the bat for sure, and carbon dioxide. So you're going to get that. So you can always get, and then you get your carbon to split down into carbon dioxide. But see, you're getting carbon dioxide anyway, so it's almost like you get more when you break down the carbon. So if you make carbon dioxide with carbon and oxygen, just so you don't waste it, you can then get carbon dioxide and then break that down and back into carbon and oxygen. So yeah, hello, there you go. So that's kind of like the basics I was wanting to cover on that. Now, I don't need to start this process, and I mean, the gist is, if I was to split the soil, you need all 5 barrels that'll be used. Carbon dioxide only uses a couple of them, so you just come over here and you click 2 of them, and it'll start doing that process. Mars rock, you need 4, so you just select 4 of these guys, and then it starts processing. So we'll get oxygen, and then the 3 that we're not using at the moment. So you can get oxygen directly just from the rock. And so if I turn this one off and you go wanting to get oxygen over here, you have to turn on all 5. It'll see, it says empty. It didn't even start processing yet. So then you'll get oxygen again, and it'll try to go into the same oxygen tank. So that's a good thing. Turn these off. And I don't know. I mean, that's just kind of the basics that I wanted to cover real quick, just to show what comes from what machine. But then again, you really need to use these guys. Ever since they brought them in, you really want to take a sample, and it'll process it for you. Let's see. I might as well do one real quick. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but let's see. What you get the most resources from the gas, so let's just grab this puppy and take a quick sample. Might as well. 2 in 1. I'll just see what happens. And I do have my sound put on realism right now, so all these machines aren't super loud. So you just drive somewhere, and remember, you don't want to go too far because your buggy only has a certain amount of fuel in it. Watch that little green light on the dash. Can I not hold this in my hand? No. You got to get info on this thing. Hit your I key. Drag your sample in. And then analyze it. Then what that'll do, and I'll show you what I did. Oh, okay, success. Now you hit your map and it'll show you what's in your area. I'll just hit my M key real quick. And then you can go up over here and check your resources. And it's doing a scan. Let me zoom in over here because this is basically. If it'll let me. There we go. Alrighty then. So it'll show you where you're at, and it shows you this one area here, what it's strong in. So we got hydrogen, and see carbon's surface. So you just want to click on the ones with the little wind. So it shows we have oxygen in the area. Let's scroll down here. Methane. Now I made sure that I had it in this area prior to this, but it shows you the area that it's good in. And nitrogen, so you can actually get a pretty good sized map and reading in the brighter the color, the more the resources. That's what it seems like to me. So I know that these 4 areas I made sure that these 4 areas were high in pretty much everything. So if you want, or even if you don't, you can drop this guy, pick this guy up. Do a reading real quick. And I think I did this when it first came out, but I don't think it was working. They were still working on the table and the sampling, being able to deploy the laboratory equipment on top of the table so we can actually do this. So it doesn't hurt to actually cover it. So now we got that sample. Let's run over here real quick. And I can't believe that plane is still going over there like that, but lucky I have my helmet turned down. And we can put this sample that we already did right down here. Bring in the new one. Analyze it. Get out of here. Go back to the map. And you can just... to get your cursor, just right click real quick. See, right now I'm just moving my dude. If you right click, you get your cursor. In case you didn't know. It'll do a quick little scan. Zoom in over here. And like I said, I made sure that these 4 squares had what we needed for this demonstration. And that one I just did was the drill bit. So let's go down to the drill bit here. And it shows you kind of a pretty good area here. Even more, you know what I mean? It already had some in there, so that's pretty cool. And water. So we got a pretty good area of water going on. So that's what you can get. And this will tell you what goes with what machine too. If you just want to look in here, it tells you water and rock, basically. The human waste was just because I was adding everything to the map just to make sure I could cover it. So we get out of there. And yeah, that's how you do that. And it works the same with the soil, so no need to show that one. But once again, remember what comes with what. You definitely want to get your water and oxygen first. And this one here will give you oxygen straight away if you're in an area. So you do want to do your testing. You don't want to just set up if all you can get is carbon dioxide. Or all you can get is... You can usually always get carbon dioxide, I think. But you cannot always get methane directly from the atmosphere. But these are the ones that come from this machine. In case you want to take a screen capture there or something. For reference. And then this joker over here. Surface sampler. Show carbon. Aluminum, silicon, iron, soil, and potassium. And rock and water, and evidently human waste. If somebody came along and crapped on the ground like some goddamn cave-dwelling piece of shit. Because they don't know what toilets are, they come over here and crap, and then your machine picks it up. So there you go. Human waste. You won't find that laying around. Now, you will be able to harvest that, and I don't want to say harvest, but, you know, recover that from the toilet. And they're implementing where that'll be able to be processed back into water, drinkable water. I mean, they have that on the space station right now. So there you go. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Hopefully I covered the majority of the stuff. If I missed anything, I'll go ahead and save this this map in case I ever have to come back and update it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like it. You know what? I never did put human waste in over here to see. There's nothing in the list. As far as I could tell. Let's see here. No, not even in the synthesize area. Water, no. So anytime now that'll be a part of this. But pretty interesting stuff there. But yeah, that's kind of the basics. I don't know if that... Hopefully that helps somebody out. I mean I'm no wizard or anything, but I can survive off the 3 basics here and get fuel for my buggy, and then I can really go out and scope out the area and take some samples and find where the water's really good. So if you want to grid it for sure. Look at your compass and head north from an area. If it starts going up on your samples, now you have to take samples, so you might as well. I mean, it marked. Did I show you? It marks your location on the sample container. Let's see. Did it show that? So you can you know where you got it. Let's see here. Was it this one here? Can I pull it? Do I have to throw it on the ground and look at it? How do I pick that? Oh, held. Let's try that. There should be a tag on here that tells you where you got it. Hang on a sec. There it is. So you have a sample markup, so it tells you on the map where you're at. I don't know. It's a little kooky on how to figure out where you're at. But if you just keep track with your compass, take some samples. If you start getting more water that way, which in this instance you would, and then maybe you go up and then you can set up one of these guys just to get water for you. So there you go. And hopefully that helped, and you guys have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.